We don't have official word yet on the beta, but we do have a few leaks, so let's go over those right now.
Welcome
to Uplink.
Before we get in the episodes, do please consider checking out our podcast that myself and Sammy Boy do every Friday called The Battlefield Show. Check it out on this channel every Friday or wherever you find podcasts. Tom Henderson, who has become a legend in the Battlefield leaking community recently. I mean, he's been around for a while, is a writer for a news site. He's been hit or miss every now and then, but recently he's been pretty close to that hit mark, predicting the later beta, and now he's putting his money where his mouth is, telling us exactly when to expect the Battlefield 2042 beta, as well as the times. So according to Tom Henderson, the 20th of September, media and content creators will have a capture event behind closed doors, and then on the 22nd of September, the media embargo lifts, as well as the early access, which will go live at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. CEST, which according to my math will be 1 or 2 a.m. Pacific time. So keep that in mind. It'll be really early that morning, so by the time you wake up, hopefully we'll have a beta on September 22nd. And then on the 22nd, the embargo will lift at 9 a.m. CEST. And that specifically is for the early access. So the early access for people who pre-order the game will start September 22nd of this year. And then the open beta for everyone will start at the 24th of September. According to Tom Henderson here, we don't have a specific end date for this one quite yet, but if we're to believe rumors, it should be about a week total for this open beta, so expect anywhere from 3 to 4 days for the open beta. Usually, it's around that 3 to 4 day mark for betas, and then the open or the early access beta will extend that a little bit. We also have some more details that Tom Henderson brings us about the other specialists that I will cover in this video as well. So let's jump right into talking about the different kinds of specialists that we're also going to be getting for Battlefield 2042. So alongside the already announced specialists that we'll be getting, including Irish Graves as well as Boris, Maria Falk, Webster McKay, and Casper, the rest of the 10 total specialists that we'll be getting at launch of this game are as follows: Sundance, Jisoo Pike, Constantine Angel, Naveen Rao, and Espinoza. Now, I may have butchered a few of those pronunciations, but those are the names of the characters that will fill out the rest of Battlefield 2042. And I'm really excited to see what these characters are bringing. We obviously already have a very diverse cast with what we've got so far, so I hope to see that diverse cast expanded even more, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what these characters are going to bring to the game and what kind of playstyles. So we've got the specialists so far. We've got defensive. We've got support with Irish Graves and Maria Falk there. We've got the sniper in terms of Casper, as well as Boris, who's just a freaking tank of a machine with that almost defensive play, but a little bit of an offensive flavor to it. And then you've got the all-around kind of assault character with Webster McKay. And if you had told me that those are the only characters that we would be getting in Battlefield 2042, I'd probably be happy about it. I mean, honestly, that is a very strong array of characters that are already going to be in the game. But we have a little more detail from Tom Henderson here about what each of these characters are going to be capable of. Jisoo has some weird ability to see things through walls, he says. I'm not sure if it's players or like equipment, like engineer from Call of Duty, or not. Naveen can hack equipment. Sundance has the wingsuit, and he's unsure on Espinoza or Constantine. I don't know how many times I've compared Battlefield 2042 to Apex, but it is getting clearer and clearer that they're drawing a lot of inspiration with the popularity of Apex. I mean, Naveen can hack equipment, basically a crypto. Now, Sundance has the wingsuit, and so Sundance we may have even gotten a tease of, depending on the look of that character, in the original teaser, not really gameplay trailer, but cinematic-ish trailer. And Jisoo has the ability to see things through walls. I'm curious to see, like Tom Henderson says, if it is equipment or if it's people. I think it'd be fascinating if they could throw something at the wall and be able to see through the wall. I think that could be an opportunity there, or if it's something on their arm where it just sends out a pulse, or if it is equipment, something kind of like a Loba ability where you can see the different types of equipment that are out on the ground. I mean, clearly they are drawing so much inspiration from Apex, it's crazy. Or even with Jisoo's ability, it may just be completely passive, that as you look in a specific direction, if you stare in that direction long enough, maybe you'll see highlighted characters, or maybe it only works between walls and they can't really tell, like wide out and open. If there's someone crouched on the ground, maybe that's the limit of their ability, is they can't actually see through, or they can only see through walls and not actually on the battlefield. That could be interesting. I'm not sure, but I'm very interested to see what direction they take this character. It could offer something completely unique to the character in Battlefield, or maybe it's just one of those like novelty characters, and unless it has a really interesting trait, then a lot of people aren't going to be playing that specific character. On the topic of Naveen, can hack equipment. I'm very fascinated to see what kind of equipment they'll be able to hack, what direction they'll be able to use it. Maybe it's specifically to counter that drone that Casper has, and that is a good mark against this, almost maybe like a rock, paper, scissors approach to these specialists. Maybe one specialist is better against another specialist, and that just keeps on going across each other, and it almost gets this rock, paper, scissors ability trait added into the game. So I think it's something that could happen. Maybe that's not specifically what they're thinking about, but we have seen them balance it against, we saw it with Maria Falk, that they balanced Maria Falk against all of these other characters. So maybe it is something that they're aiming to do with the game. And if this is to believe this information, again, this is a leaked rumor, leak, I would say, maybe not towards the rumor side, but leak. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's old information. Sometimes it just doesn't really come out. Maybe it's something that they're looking at and the names get mixed up. Maybe Jisoo is actually named Sundance and they switch the names and the designs of the characters. I'm not sure, but just take that into account as you're considering this, as well with the beta details. Sometimes it just, things change and they don't really get it through the leaks, but I am quite certain that at this point the information is quite solid. But with Sundance here, I'm very curious to see if that is their only ability, or maybe there is a specific trait. Maybe with the more kills that you get, the more maybe you can take off with the wingsuit instead of jumping off from big buildings. Maybe you can actually jump and use a boost pack or something that gives it a little more usability on maps without gigantic buildings. That's something to consider for sure. With these maps getting bigger and bigger, their abilities may not work well on certain maps, and maybe there's something that they want the trait or that specific ability to have that will counteract the wide open areas. It's kind of like being Spider-Man. Spider-Man in an open field, he's not going to be as effective as he is in the city. So maybe there's something more to Sundance than meets the eye. I'm very interested to see what these characters do end up looking like. Again, I wish we had more details on Espinosa and Constantine, because I think they could be very fascinating in terms of how they match up with these other characters, but because we haven't even seen a tease. We've heard about Sundance, and I think that's why we have a little more information around them. But I think it's going to be really fun to seeing how they move forward with these character showcases that they have been doing recently. But those are the details around these leaks from Tom Henderson. As more details come available, definitely do consider subscribing and staying up to date on all things Battlefield 2042. And I would like to say a moment of silence for Michael K. Williams, who died at the age of 54 and was found in his apartment. He is the actor that played Irish in Battlefield, and he's also played a character from The Wire. So thank you, Michael K. Williams, for your work on the battlefield, and as we play Irish Graves, we will remember you. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the battlefield.